Okay, so let's get started. I am still on Sencha, by the way, which I'm kind of taking care of right now. First, a correction. I saw while exporting videos yesterday that I said that the speedrun was just under 3 hour and 40 minutes, the world record. This was very widely wrong. It's under 2 hours and 40 minutes. I guess I was sort of got mixed up between 2 hours and 40 minutes and under 3 hours. And then word salad came out of it. Anyway, speaking hard. And one reason why I'm bringing this up as well, very clever segue, is that while I was doing this yesterday night, Zero Lee PB'd, had very, very good PB within the 2 hour and 36 minute. So he is now within 30 seconds of world record with a completely different route. Well, I mean, largely different route. In that other route, you don't bring Alrond to the Assassin's fight. You still go to the Assassin's fight for EXP and so on, but you don't bring Alrond along. Instead, you want to level up Hikari, who need to go through his chapter 4 as fast as possible. Or final chapter, which might be chapter 5 actually. So Hikari needs to go through his final chapter and unlock his second extra ability, which has a funny name, something Nigiri, whatever. It's not actually Nigiri. We can look at it later. Which is a pretty powerful attack and becomes the main damage dealer of the team, replacing Throne at that point in the game. So, I mean, the things have pros and cons. You remove you move the Alrond, RNG. I think you might as well be doing Assassins a bit earlier, which maybe speeds up a few things. It is really unclear. And of course, the EXP 100 route, where you just start doing 90k damage to unbroken enemies, is also pretty exceptional. You won't get that every time. If you only get times 10, you will still have to break. I think Hikari will need to break a few more enemies along the line. Let me give you a bit of light. Here you go. So pros and cons, it's unclear which one is which, and I mean there might be room for an Alrond Hikari route. I don't really know. So back where we were, I thought I'd start this by finding a bit of Agnias. Oops. I find this UX slightly confusing, but that's me. If we go to chapter 1, oh, I can't actually watch that. Okay, I thought I could. So you can always watch there. I wanted to show Agnia dancing, but we need to do a chapter 1 for that. So maybe some other time. We'll see other dances later. As a way to pay homage to a character that doesn't do a lot in this. Anyway, so we were here, we were going to Stormhail. Something I want to say though is, so there's a lot of pattern breaking in this video game, but I think a lot of the pattern breaking are, they're directed to people that played the first game. So in the first game you can access every city immediately. In this one, here's a city you need to work a bit to get to. Stormhail, which incidentally is the HQ of the Sacred Guard, and so we're going to do that second Temenos chapter first. So this guy prevents me from going, right? I don't know why. It's a level 36 area, so I'm higher level than this. Anyway, the point is you just put him to sleep with one of your few ways that you have. And he will let you pass through. And then he never protects again. So you either need to have a way to move him out of the way. So you can challenge him, ambush him, provoke him, soothe him with Casti, things like that. I must confess that Throne's HP count at nearly 4,000 is really impressive. Let me check Twitch alone. I forgot again to check whether the stream was live properly. It is. Everything is going fine. Beautiful. Anyway. So in this route, I mean, at this point, the bosses will go down on Abating Orb, followed by turn 2 first action Abers. Most of them. Sometimes we'll need to break. Sometimes we won't. Stormhail here has this massive archaeological thingy. Things that looks important, but I couldn't find any interesting. I didn't look for very long. But there didn't seem to be a lot of side quests that gave lore, which I found unfortunate. I think the thing about these games with 8 small stories that sort of build up to a bigger world building kind of story is, well, it is a world building story. It's full of mysteries, and so you should, I think, for an efficient storytelling, just scatter a lot of information around on we're doing Temenos and not Hikari. Both of them have a chapter here. You can always fix it. I forgot to when you restart, I didn't quit the game, so maybe, but yeah, still. I shut the switch down. It was in sleeping mode, and it just resets the fast forward to pause. You can also pause, in which case you need to press a button to advance the text box, or play, which means that it will advance text box when voice lines are finished, or fast forward where it advances instantly. So we got here. We want to interrogate Vedas, and we get there, and there's no record of him ever getting here. We also met up with Crick again, but that we expected because he was to accompany Vedas here to the prison, but he was never checked in the prison. That is weird. And we are going to find, oh blood, he escaped from the prison. He was never checked in and got killed. So this is very suspicious. Of course, the simple fact that we were invited to interrogate him here is extremely suspicious, because this is the first time ever that the Sacred Guards, Knights, whatever, didn't try to prevent us from doing our investigation. So obviously, we know what's been happening. Something is really fishy among the guard. So we're going to sleep. We say, Crick, do the same. Don't do anything. Something is very, very much amiss here. I need to speak to that person. Temenos is a bit sarcastic and sometimes patronizing towards Crick. So he sort of say, yeah, but I'm a big man, and he's going to investigate. He finds something he should really not have found. It's an entire library here of forbidden books, including, I think, the Book of Night, which is something we've been looking for as part of this story. We have clues about this Book of Night, but mostly in the other chapter 3, so we'll see when we get there. And well, there's a commotion because Crick has been killed during the night. What a surprise. So, yes, our good friend, young friend, very idealistic, has gotten killed. That's kind of sad. Very, actually. But for finding something he shouldn't have. So now it became quite personal. I mean, one old man, even though you were fond of it, Temenos was very fond of him, was a thing, but now, yeah. So we sort of retrace Crick's steps using the power of deduction. For a good definition of deduction. And we find the library too, and then we kind of discover very quickly. So we're going to be met by the Sacred Guard Knights second in charge, and we'll learn that actually the Caldena, I think, I forget the name of everybody now, is actually the person who is running some nefarious things. She's also the person who has been hiring Vados to kill people, and she intend to do some ritual involving the Book of Night. No, that's not here. It's too early for night. Ah, yeah, yo. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Yo is the verb to be. It's one of the way to say be, but I'm not sure what why it was in that context. So yeah, we discover he's been killed and move. So that's Kubari. She's Kildena's number 2, and she's very confident that she can kill Temenos like she killed Crick, but Temenos is a bit more experienced. Thanks to Aber's reconning, she's not dead. She should be. Oh, it's not night. Why is it not night? I messed up. Well, we're going to wait a bit. And I don't have donate BP. That's great. Okay. Oh, we're gonna wait. Try not to die. Why is it not night? So you see the importance of night now. I could have broken. That would have been smart. Oh, great. I don't think I have any olives left. Well, I have large ones. It's going to die again, though. See? Yeah, okay, let's just restart this fight. That's gonna be faster. She's gonna take forever to die herself, though. She's not even red, so we're so far. We could kill, but I don't have the resources. If Temenos was to stay alive, then that would be doable. Anyway, good start. I thought I pressed the button too. Might have pressed it twice or did something nonsensical like that. Okay, we're doing this again. So now we kind of feel that the entire Sacred Knights are crooked because they're run by Caldena. We don't know, it's in the other chapter 3 that we learn about her motives. Oh, I think I know what the matter was. I thought it was day and it was night, hence the so many encounters. And so I switched in reverse. This is very funny. See, much fewer encounters now. It was night because it's night during the previous cutscene or something. The game sometimes changes to night or day. The route tries to actually exploit these and be at the right time of day, but it also takes no time at all in most cases to switch from night to day. I might have an extra encounter here. No, I'm good. Now it's night. It's going to be different because what happens is night, because of Temenos, gives a defense debuff to Caldena, and that does like a ton of extra damage, like 1.5 or something. So yeah, here we go. I'll try not to do these sort of things in a run. And we are going to... We're going to be put outside of the town, I think. So there's another chapter 3 where we'll understand what Caldena's motivations are. You kind of... I think you're sort of intended to do the other chapter 3 first. For Temenos. So we teleported back in so that we can do Hikari's chapter. I'm actually not sure why we do them in that order. Maybe to level up Hikari a little. Ah yeah, because he's going to have challenges, of course. Maybe that was the point. Do I need to do anything? Not really. Let's make sure it's night. So there's a solution for night, but Inferno's not first. That's nice. So we can do catapults, or yeah, just one of the power from the inventor job that I've used actually a lot because it's very useful. You can use any weapons in the pool, and you send it on everybody. So to break things at the beginning of the game, it is very convenient. Hikari is trying to recruit his childhood friend Jinmei. That's her here. I talked about that last time because I was getting ahead of myself. She was a character that we played in chapter 1 that we skipped, and turns out that Jinmei is so utterly terrified of Mugen that she decided to side with him as a way to protect her clan. So we're doing some childhood memory. That's Jinmei's older brother, the head of the clan before her. Unfortunately, he died. He got himself involved for similar reason, like to protect the clan, quote unquote, as Jinmei, in Mugen's plot to kill Hikari and his mother. The mother died. Hikari went berserk with the shadow hold. That's Jean May, by the way. Ran May is the lady, and so Jean May stopped him, got hurt, and the game sort of tries to make you believe that Hikari killed Jean May in that scene here, but quickly corrects it and tells you no, Mugen killed him for having failed to kill Hikari, and Raimei here is now completely terrified and sort of becomes a very meek, obedient servant of Mugen as a way to hope that he will not destroy the entire clan. So that was the scene where Mugen kills Jinmei. I'm getting all my names mixed up today, so I'm sure the story makes a ton of sense. Okay, so we're just I guess there might be encounters in this area. I don't even know. Maybe not. I have no idea. And so she sort of attacks us, puts us in prison. Her right-hand man says, like, you know, she needs help. She is just traumatized. Aha! We do get some encounters. And frees us. So we go, we're in prison, but we're supposed to be executed by order of Mugen, who, I'll remind you, said everybody that we killed the king or some nonsense like that. That we are the traitor. And I'm not exactly sure why Mugen wants to kill Hikari since his childhood. Maybe because he looks down on his low-born mother, or maybe because he's just afraid of him. It is not really clear. Maybe a bit of both. Mugen has complexes too, despite being an extremely powerful person. Which is why Hikari, despite being presented as an extremely skilled warrior from day one, doesn't even hold a candle to Mugen at the beginning and has to flee during the coup. Anyway, also exceptional sprite work on Raimei. Mamoruzo. Most fight would be faster at this point without a step ahead on everybody. I guess soon we'll get into fights where we need people to act. This fight was also a good difference between EXP 100 and EXP 10. In EXP 10 you need to use critical scope as well, together with breaking Raimei and using Beastling for damage and breaking at the same time. Sorry. Where are we going? We're going to Crackridge. Crackridge is over there, somewhere around here. Ooh. So that's the other chapter 3 for Temenos. Okay, so we have found in the scholar, I think his name was Lucian or Lucius, either of these. It's a theologian. He was a cleric rather than a scholar. We found notes about this village and I think the Felsen ruins. So we sort of discover immediately that everyone is extremely hostile here. Nobody wants to speak. They seem to not like the Order of the Flame, the church of which Temenos is a cleric/inquisitor. And they have these moon pendants. Despite the fact that this place should be manned by, according to our knowledge, by the Keeper of the Flames or something like that. Another order that is not moon associated. So there's this lady that goes, "Oh, actually, I want to help you find the thing you want. And it's not obviously a trap." And so, yeah, Temenos clocks her right away. She has the moon pendant as well. She does a very poor job of hiding it. So we're going to the Felsen Ruins. There's no boss in it, I think. I'm pretty sure. At some point we'll get close here, and so Temenos confronts the lady, and the lady says, "Actually, it was a trap, but I'm ashamed of what my people did. So I want to help you find the truth." To get it, you discover that we'll discover a journal. That journal, where we learned that the Moon guys, they destroyed the Keeper of the Flames. They went and just killed everybody. And the keeper of this journal has been wanting to find revenge from the beginning. So we kind of discover that the keeper of the journal is Caldena. She's been hiring Vados to do stuff. And to be honest, at least for me at this point, it was kind of clear that, she was obviously doing what she was playing the game of the person she wanted to get vengeance, right? Instead of, she was helping them rather than hurting them by her little plot. I don't know how she got into her mind that the Book of Night was the solution, but obviously the Book of Night is a bit of a, it's related to V-Day, it's a bit the anti-flame thing, and if people assassinate the Order of the Flame, or the Keepers of the Flame, obviously they're probably more pro-V-Day, which they are, and soon night shall fall, as is a leitmotif in Temenos' story. We're going to Sai. And we're going to do Agni's chapter 4. So Sai is a poor town. No, it isn't. Which one is Sai? I'm confused. Yes, actually, that's where I thought we were. People are poor and unhappy. But Agni discovers that in the past, a dancer, that person, came here. And that dancer is Agni's mother. And she made people happy, and they remember her fondly. The statue has actually been tagged by a young lady that we're meeting up again with. And we sort of soon discover the lady likes dancing. We teach her dancing, and she becomes... And we also discover something. That's the lady over there near the statue. We teach her how to dance, but we also discovered Dulcinea is from this village, town thing. And she learned how to dance with Agnia's mother. And she became a superstar. So what's her nefarious plans? Well, her plan is to erase this village where she's from. She was an orphan living off the streets, so she doesn't have any fond memory of the village. She wants to raise the village and put an amusement park instead, in her glory. Is it ridiculous? Yeah. Also, nobody cares, right? We're gonna help the people avoid the village from being destroyed. So right now we discovered that the lady here, she's called Layla or something, Lila. She has very busted shoes, so we bought her shoes. Well, we kind of seduced someone into giving the shoes to us. Anyway, we can look at this cutscene, the first one. And there's actually a banter with Temenos where he says like, okay, you're getting good shoes for this lady, but your shoes are busted. Why don't you get shoes for yourself too? Or something. Let's note journal. That one. Get a bit of music and dancing. But I didn't see much. But okay. So the dancing sprites are actually very good. So what's happening? So Dulcinea appeared and she's like, oh, well that was not really Dulcinea, that was Veronica. That's Dulcinea's bodyguards slash probably lover, though I don't think Japanese are comfortable with talking with same-sex romance all that much, so it's only hinted at. Veronica takes a strong liking to Agni as well. She doesn't really approve of Dulcinea's aggressive ways. But nonetheless, Dulcinea says fight Agnia back, and she will try to anyway, because we still have Abers. And then Dulcinea will go, alright, then we settled it on the stage. You know this gala you've been meaning to go? Well, let me invite you to the very selective best dancer stage, and we got a dance off. That's the entirety of the story. Oh, this chapter. Hello, Coach Edwin. Thank you, thank you. We're just chilling. We're not it's not a speedrun, it's just the speedrun route. And me telling the story and explaining the route. So yeah, we're completely over-leveled at this point, so everything is very easy. The spirit of this speedrun route really is to get to a point where everything's extremely safe. We go to Southern Kusans, and we go to Ikari's chapter 5. It's a battlefield out there? Oh yeah, that's Cassie's chapter. It's funny. We haven't done it yet. This game is better at not sort of blocking things out of chapters. I also don't know where Ku is. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go to Hikari's final chapter, which, and that's kind of another kind of pattern breaking, doesn't start in a town, but on a road. Because we want to storm the town. So Hikari has kind of recruited Raimei. I mean, she hasn't made it clear, but he's confident that she will indeed join him by the time they do the attack. And they're going to do completely... I mean... I don't think the authors of this video game believe in physics. So we need to go in... It's a fortified town. So we need to enter. We need to find our way in. And the strategy we're going to employ is we're going to funnel wind through a ravine or something and use it as a weapon to break open the doors. I'm not saying it's impossible to break fortified doors open with just wind, but not like naturally powered wind. It's just not possible. You need much more strength than that. I mean, well, you can with a tornado, but it's not the kind of things we're making. At least it's going to look like a tornado, but you can't trigger a tornado, right? It's just especially with like, I guess, Renaissance technology. So what's his name? I always forget. Kazan. Anyway, with yeah, we're like a bit like 19th century-ish, well, 18th century, 19th century technology. Depending on where we are, it's more Middle Ages or more 19th century. It is a weird mix, because consistency is not really what matters here. What matters is the story of the shadow. We can go there still. So we need to ring the bell, and there's a plot and a counterplot and a counterplot. Because everybody's plotting. So, as we're getting there, because we won't have that much time later, it will turn out that Kazan is actually a bad guy. And as a point, like, when you do Particho's story that we have finished, you have Ori is always saying, oh, I'm doing this journalist job because of my brother. And it sort of at some point gets interesting that she speaks very I mean, the fact that she never names her brother or something just makes us look at this mystery there. Her brother is Kazan. And they've been plotting. Well, they're both born from Ku, and they were lowborns, and they didn't like that. Understandingly, sorry, because lowborns are not badly well considered in Ku, which is something Hikari wants to change. And they decided that the one solution to this very problem was to destroy the world. Yeah, I mean, small scale stuff. So they've been working at that. And actually, we discover later that Kazan plotted Mugen's coup and Hikari's counter coup. I'll explain in a second why. And actually, most of the stories that we're playing, they've been like Ori and Kazan have been manipulating the characters, but not Partichos, which is kind of important. So let me tell you a story. Oh. Let's wait for that. So, I did Hikari's chapter 5, this chapter, an evening, and I had to go make dinner. And I'm like, oh well, I'm getting the boss, so I'll be done in 15 minutes-ish. I have a half hour before dinner, making dinner, so I'm good. Turns out there are 3 bosses in a row in this, and I was so late. And everyone was waiting on me. I'm ashamed. Agnia does... yeah, I could have done the fast menu. A baiting orb. Timino's defense. Dagger. This is weird. Okay. And Hikari defense. Oh yeah, we just don't want her to... Spear 3. 4, sorry. Spear 3. We want to break in this fight, which is quite impressive. Agni defends. And Abers. And 10k damage. Whew. We have 2 more fights. Well, 4 actually. 3 more fights. 3 bosses plus a challenge. Total in this. So... yeah. We have the return of the horse indoors, which is good. So here, Mugen. Wagaken.
この剣は父と母を奪われた怒りでは降らぬ。この剣は友たちの思いだ。
Always, Tomo. I mean, in an 8-character story like this, especially the way it's written, you need very strongly characterized characters. They tend to choose to have like strong catchphrases for everybody. But Hikari is like he speaks about friends way too much. And I think it's largely the same script, not quite. Invading orb. Doing a spear 2, because there's 1 less to do. Spear. $10k again, 100k sorry again. It's a Pentanine. Quinine. I don't know. So now we have we're probably in Hikari's head. That's his dark part. I'm not sure I want to have that. We can have it, shit. Hikari. Japanese voice acting is so interesting. Like they have... There's a couple of things. First, nobody speaks like that to a very high degree. Like they use dialects that don't exist, or like combinations of words that are not commonly found in the same person, or frequencies of words that are very uncommon. But they also have like, there's so much expressed, and you don't need to understand what they say. Like I don't hardly speak Japanese, but you still understand what they're going for, what the character is. It's quite remarkable, honestly. So we defend. Note that in challenges we still have an extra turn because of a step ahead. So now we have assassins here because we beat the assassin. I have to be careful when we menu. They do more damage than the veterans, but not much because the veterans already do 10k on many things. They also restore HP and SP. In this route, I don't think we use it even once, but in the other route, the one that's 0, lead runs. There's one fight where you use it to restore thrown A's. No, he carries SPs so that he can to avoid having to heal. A very remarkable thing in this is that in either of the route we basically never have to heal outside of script. It's much safer than in Octopath 1. So we do veterans in that way. Have to be careful about this, about the assassins, largely because they cost more. Mudadaze Hikari. So this thing, the shadow bits, I don't think it's established how we got there. Something, descendant of Darkest, something. Darkest is a bit everywhere in this story. It's not clear how he came to be. He is clearly a servant of Vide. Vide is really the embodiment of Shadow. But besides that, nothing is really clear. And so the Ku clan, the Ku royal clan is apparently descendant of Darkest and have this shadowy bits to them. And Mugen too, and we'll see. We'll see in a second. Now we're stuck. Great. And our friends come, including Kazan. So that's in our mind, because Kazan is no friend of ours, really. He's evil. Then we have Raimei, I think, who did come and apologize for being wrong before and siding with Mugen. Ritsu also kind of, at the end of his fight earlier, he kind of said, yeah, okay, I lost, now you turn, change the word. And now we sort of, we get the shadow hold out of us. Oops. Now we have, oh yeah, we I think at this point we're always full BP. And what we do is guards. It will look like he doesn't die, but so I don't know if it happened already, but somewhere in this chapter he carries latent power changes. And like he stays the same. Let's just skip this. It stays the same, but it changes name from something with shadow to something with light. What happened? Mugen took a sword out. He mentioned the sword in a previous inter-chapter something. It's a magic sword from the clan. It's got shadow in its name. Oh, surprise. It's the big red thing that he has on his right hand. One of his right hands. And he thought that would help him beat Hikari, but instead he was consumed by the weapon and became this monster, which I've got to admit is also a magnificent sprite. I think this half of the run will have many magnificent sprites. So let's you know, bathe in the beauty of these bosses. Anyway, he's Mugen no longer. He's the Enshrouded King, whatever that means. So this is a pretty powerful boss. I don't remember how many HPs he has, but we have to be a bit deliberate about it. So we're using a critical scope, so that every hit is critical. I think criticals are 1.3 or 1.5 more damage. Tempest defense. Yeah, Agnia serves a purpose. Congratulations. Beware, beware. Agnia will do something again. Lion Dance, that also multiplies damage on... Oh yeah, that's probably partly because we do armor corrosive. Yeah, here we go. That's partly because we couldn't have night bonuses. So instead we do armor corrosive. So we have armor corrosive, Lion Dance. So that's two things that boost damage for us. And autocritical. And now we do the normal aimers for 100k damage. Now this unlocks the entirety of Hikari and Agnia's chapters for some reason. I thought both of them need to be past that chapter 4, but apparently not. Well, the final chapter. But no. So anyway, yeah, Mugen sort of dies. He's all shriveled inside. He probably got controlled by his shadow side many, many years ago. Hikari becomes the new Fire Lord King. Sorry. If you, I skipped it, but if you look at the at his costume, it looks so much Fire Lordy. It's very similar. Also, some more basking. Isn't that fantastic? These oh yeah, Shijunmon Jigiri. That's the skill you use most in the other route. Right now, it does a ton of damage. It does one hit on a target and one hit on every target. In theory, it could do more than 100k because of that. In practice, you never go there because it's very rarely useful, and it's just easier to do damage twice on the few bosses that have more than 100k damage, which are all post-main stories bosses. I think all the bosses from the main stories have 100k or less. Now, we're going to review, and we're going to do one of these extra story. That's the one. Review is also the town where you recruit Hikari first. That's where he fled after the cuckoo. That was the best sentence ever. So we meet a lute player that sounds like a shamisen, honestly. She say, "Oh, I can play for you, but you need to pay me money." And you say, "Okay, well, I'm going to prepare a song just for you. Come back tomorrow night." So you come back tomorrow night. And she's like, "Oh, but I broke my lute. I need some horse thing." So you get her some horse thing. Kind of sounds like she's messing with you at this point. Oops. And you give her the horse thing, and she say, "Yeah, but I can't play here. I need to be somewhere else, something." So is she messing with you very much? Yes. But then you get the music. We can hear a little of it. Soon. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Let's skip the rest so that we can advance. So we'll do the second part immediately. That's also a difference. We can skip a few steps here compared to the EXP times 10 route. In particular, we are supposed to go and find the battle-tested blade from Bandolem, which is post chapter 4 for Hikari. He's the boss from the chapter 2, and he has the best blade in the game. But we're not buying it because we already do 100k, so whatever. So we go and we do that, and we just want to throw a celebration, well, not celebration, ceremony for the dead. And so Agnia's like, yeah, I'm gonna dance, gonna be super respectful and all that. And then they did, but we need music, and well, there's a let me actually, I don't know what quit, but let me get one of these, because you never know. Oh, and magic notes are useless because magic is useless in this game. It just doesn't do enough damage to do anything, compared to the first game where physical was so less good most of the time. Though physical could catch up, and I don't think in this game magic can ever catch up. We go to New Delta. We do a bit of we do Throny's chapter 4 in its entirety, the final chapter for Throne. Okay. And so we discover that there's a loot player in a cave, and the loot player is Yomi, and we're gonna see that, and she actually has beef with Hikari, and she wants vengeance, something. We do Throne's chapter 4. So I didn't mention something, but when we finished the chapter 3, we got the second key, and Father told us, but you will never be free. Actually, maybe he didn't say it that way. But anyway, the keys don't work, and we don't really know why. That's so weird. What keys work then? That's the real question. No, I don't know why I do that every time. I need it to be like... the keys don't work, and we're like, but what are the keys for? So we go back to New Delta, we spy on the nest, and we go to Piro's grave, and there's a message on it. It says, go back to where it's all started. So you go back to the chapter 1 escape that we've actually played, because we did Thursday's chapter 1. And there was this door that was closed there that sort of blocked our exit path. We had to improvise, and it has two keyholes apparently. I caught an ambush. It is still faster to escape than to kill it. And yeah, turns out the mother and father's keys open this very door that lead us to another place. Here's another pattern breaking thing, is that we're going to walk here. It's not the right way. There's a town here that is only available through this chapter. So you have to go through a town, and you have to let me just turn off the sound here. And we have to just walk, and to be in that chapter, to have finished enough things to... I was supposed to walk. Eek. Well, we can run now. It worked anyway. Fantastic. And so we get to this town, but the town is abandoned. And there's a bit, well, it's not abandoned, there's a bunch of people. When we talk to the people, you see that they're named Ruined Vessel. Frankly, it's not entirely clear who these people are and what they're doing here. But we are trying to find Throne's real father, and we will. His name is Claude. And he is immortal. Is that random? I forgot the path. He's immortal, and he is. When I was saying that things will come back, he has been like, he has eternal youth, and he has been childing a lot of, like, he has a lot of children. And actually, all the black snakes, including mother, including father, including Pyro, are some of his children, and that's why some of them look a lot like each other. Like, he looks a lot like Pyro himself. And so the kid that we found in Mother Chapter 2 was one of his kids, and that's why he looks so much like Pyro. That was the sort of the hint, if you wish, which has not much to do with it. And yeah, and Yagli is not really fond of eternal youth because he's been around for too long and he wants to die. So he's been sort of grooming the snakes to find someone who can kill him. We're not the first to reach him, but we will actually kill him, putting an end to that story. Turns out Claude's a descendant of Darkest as well. That's why he is immortal. Connection unclear. And he was supposed to be a vessel for Vide's revival or something like that, but decided he would die instead and have someone else be it. The reason is never made clear in the parts of the story I have found. He doesn't have a lot of HPs. What happens in this second phase that we will skip, he gets replaced by a shadow version of the other bosses of the story. I think you have father and mother at the same time. They have like 10k hit points, these are these, so they're easily beaten. But it takes like forever. You need to find a time to hit him or to break him in between, otherwise he disappears again. You can't hit it while that happens, so that is pretty annoying. Because he doesn't have a lot of hit points, the fight is quite fast. Here we go. So that was Throne's story, and she's connected to the rest of the story through Claude, who actually is one of the mastermind. So he has been teaming up with Kazan and Ori. We need to be day. We get the key. We can finally get the collar/necklace off. Sorry, and Throne is free, I guess. Oh, there's more cutscenes. Oh yeah, and she has a puppy. That's something that's a plot since chapter 1. I think when you recruit Throne and you didn't play her as chapter 1, the hook is that some people are beating up a dog. That's her dog. And you sort of said, just don't beat up the poor dog. And she just gets instant friend with you. And she doesn't even want the dog-ish. She just helped him once and he tagged along. He's a stray. Anyway. And I don't know what disguise does. Like, if you look at the description of disguise, and I've never used it, right? If you look at the description, it says, disguise a single alive for 2 turns. I guess it sort of hides them from the enemy. I don't know. I never tried it. We're going back to Crew, which is here, and we're going to finish this. We're going to go to Yomi to let her have her vengeance. So we have to do a thing. We're going near the tavern. That's the guy. No, that's the other one. I need to steal from the other one. Yeah. Oh, diffusing serum. Good stuff. Steal the unerring bracelet. And we can equip that on Temenos. I don't really know why, but whatever. So we're going to finish the chapter now. So that's one of these things we need Agnias to be level 35 for. I don't remember which one. One of these 2 that we just stole, I think. Or the 3rd one. One of them we need level 35. Maybe that was written on screen I didn't see. Oh, you can disguise a character to use the action of the one he's disguised as. Is it necessarily one of the 4 characters, or can you use a character that is out of the party? Anyway, so that's why we need Agnias to be fairly high level. For instance, Hikari and Temenos are just level 28, and we need to grind for Agnia, and it's one of the main reasons for the Assassin's fight that we use in any route. Also, good afternoon. So we're going to go to Yomi. I see, yeah. So for YouTube, the answer is, I think it is a target, so it has to the character to be disguised as has to be in the party. Oh, I forgot to put day on. Has to be in the party and not incapacitated. Let me turn back to day. Also, point is that the day music and the night music are not the same. They're different instrument arrangements of the same musics, though. I think you would. The day arrangement will have like brass instruments and maybe strings. You had more wood instruments in the night. So at this point, Hikari is supposed to be level 45 or something, according to the game. But I mean, we have hired help, so nothing is a challenge. That was not the way. Oh yeah, I remember now. There's one place where the signaling of the actual path is pretty unclear. Also, these beetles with skulls as what's the name? Shells? They're called like skull rollers. I don't remember. It's over there. Yeah. There are torches, so it doesn't need to be night. It needs to be day because I need to do a challenge here. So Yomi's like, I can't, like, I know it's stupid. So Yomi's also like lowborn, I think. She had a daughter. She had not a daughter. She has a sister. Her sister, like, she a twin sister, and her parents couldn't raise them both, so they were going to abandon one of them, and so the sister left home. It's a tragic story, honestly. So the sister left home during the night to save Yomi. And then she found her way into into the palace servants. So she made a life there, and they met up again with Yomi. And she died, and I don't think her death is explained, but she sort of died in Hikari's hands. And for some reason, Yomi really wants to get vengeance on Hikari for that. And Hikari, being always the noble person he is, like, yeah, sure, like have vengeance. I deserve it. Probably. And so here we defend. And we use the assassins. That's actually an actual use of the assassins, but though we don't need the HP and SP heal in that case. For a shamisen player, she is stupidly strong. As always in these games, the gameplay and the gameplay and the story don't mesh all that well. So we're going to continue with these dual character so-called extra stories right now. We're going to do Throne and Temenos', which is extremely relevant to the plot, contrary to the one we just played. That really wasn't. So, Throne has heard of a treasure called Alpates. Or Alpates, I guess. Why a treasure has a name, I don't know. We need to do a thing. Oh, that's why. So the world record is 2 hours, 36 minutes and like 10 or 20 seconds. There are two runs within. There are two runs in less than 2 hours 37. One by Quadra and one by Zero Lead. And they use different routes, which is kind of neat. Quadriceps's world record uses this route, and the other one, which is within 30 seconds ish, uses Hikari as the main damage dealer. Oh, sorry, is that a single story, or actually the any percent route? Because that category is any percent where you beat V-Day. Because that's where the credits are. I need to do an equip menu, sorry, a job menu. So because we're going to have a fight with Temenos on his own, or Inquire right here, so he needs to be, he needs a bit of help. Just learn all of the merchant skills. So that gives him a hang tov just in case for later. Or just in case, it's going to be important. Yeah, so any percent is 2 hours 36 minutes-ish. There's a lot of sub 3 hours. But not on the Switch. There's no run on the Switch, so it's probably going to be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes longer, so, you know, just sub 3 hours. I guess. Oh, also, Temenos goes boost start here, and full power. Full power says that you have the latent power. Well, I didn't show you that. So Hikari's thing changed. Now he doesn't have Shadow's Hold as his latent power. It's Light's Radiance. It's the same. It's exactly the same, but it hasn't changed name, so that it represents his redemption, or he's overcoming the dark part inside himself. Yeah, well, we're very early, right? The game is 2 months old, so we need to. So when we do coerce, we need to just break the man. Of course, it's a. This one is easy to beat. I didn't need the menu for this guy, I don't think. Except that we equipped aggressive slash here. Or maybe for the... No, we don't need it. So we do aggressive times 4. That's 6 hits. The other route really likes the elemental barrage time 4, which is also 6 hits of various magic attacks. The point about Temenos is that you can use his latent power to break at every hit. So you can very easily use a boosted Temenos to break anybody. By the way, I didn't say that, but I'm playing with the sort of speedrun configuration. The normal game has a few like very cinematic camera movement that I deactivated, but it's kind of neat to play with. So Temenos breaks easily, and you can use it like six hits of any shield is just so remarkably useful. That's sort of why we equipped it the full power thing. Now he can break at the beginning of turn 2 any enemy, basically. One of my favorite Ocarina of Time route, I'm talking about that because of these two, sorry. So, not route, run. There was a run at a GDQ between ZFG and someone I don't know. So I forgot their name. Sorry for that. My apologies. And they were running Old Dungeon in Ocarina of Time. And they ran completely different routes. Like they were very, very different. They were very quickly not in the same place, and the routes only converge very late. At the moment they converged, the two games were synced on stream within frames. Like it was the same cutscene running on both screens, essentially synced. That was beautiful. That was amazing. And that was a very heavily rooted game at the time, but still there was no obvious winner for the route. I don't need one. Okay. I still have one, right? Or two maybe. We have one. I'm going to buy a second one. I don't think I need a second one, but I'm going to take one of these. Just in case. So we're running after this treasure. So we talk to that man that knows some secrets about the cathedral, and we bring him to, that's the pontiff's, now assassinated room. And there's a secret passage. It goes onto the roof. And it leads to a room where there's no treasure, but there's a person called Alpates. I guess having a treasure having a name is weird. Alpates is like Harvey's wife and daughter. Well, she's actually part of this tribe of light. But she doesn't say that. She says there's a mission, something, and I have to complete the mission. And she sort of leaves now that the pontiff is dead, but leaves us with a piece of a mirror. And goes accomplish her destiny, which we'll get back to very soon. First, we need to finish Agni's chapters by going to Mary Hill. Well, there's this gala thing. So we're going. That's this big thing, and we're going to this dance-off thing, but then some people are trying to stop us or to kidnap us or something. I don't think they understood what over-leveled characters mean, but oh, that was supposed to be daggers. Does that kill? It doesn't. Funny. Well, let's just oh, that's not going to do anything. That does, though. Okay, so I'm going to do an unboosted one. Ah, yes. I can't do it. That's so... You can rebuild. So the thing about the inventor skill is that you can use them for free, but then you need to rebuild them. So silly. Okay, now we're gonna kill. That was slow. I think that should suffice. I forgot to boost, but whatever. Okay, we got out of it. So it turns out that the owner of the concert hall that we sort of humiliated, but not really, is like he's just he's like these trolls on the internet that you told them something and then suddenly you're the only thing that they care about for the rest of their lives. Well, he's like that. And so the problem for us is that it's not a problem, but they're sort of harassing us and we don't want to be late to our show. So that's the tavern owner / pianist that we helped in chapter 2. And he's here and he's going to help us stage a diversion so that we can escape. And Layla from chapter 3 chapter 4, yeah, is here too. So she's gonna help, and the troop from chapter 3 is helping as well. There's a little bit of piano music too. It's gonna play until we get to Dulcinea, so everything fine. So we're going to do a dance off, which is actually 2 boss fights. One for when were we dancing off out of Dulcinea's out of Dulcinea's song, and one for the song that Agnia wrote, and the tune is from the pianist guy, and the lyrics are from Agnia. We have a choice of like 9 lyrics, like one more 9. So I'm supposed to. I think I still have time. Yes. Need to be night. And now we do the dance off. By hitting each other very, very hard. The music is good though. We have 2 unique musics though. Unique themes. Not anymore, I guess. It's become normal. She didn't die. Oh yeah, she did die, okay. And now, the Song of Hope. That's Agnia's music. And this one's plays for the entire boss fight now. And we're breaking. That's all. Okay. Now we're going to finish Temenos' story, I guess. So we're going to a nameless village on the island of Totohaha, where something. Oh yeah, Dulcinea is a nice person now. Whatever. She's been taught humility and the value of making people happy or whatever, and she has seen past her egoistic ways, which is good for Veronica, because I think that it's better for her, less toxic a relationship. But anyway. Oh yeah, we'll have also the picture, which is actually nice if I remember correctly, the final painting. because you have all the friends coming. We're going to Tropuhopu, right? Oh yeah, that's the closest. So the Nameless Village is a beastling village. Beastlings are like the rats and the ape kings and so on and so forth that we fight. They're demi-humans. These demi-humans apparently appeared. That's something you learn in the library. They apparently appeared instantaneously during or after a war that was related to this portal between worlds. The portal is actually guarded here in the island of Totohaha. But this is not where we're going right now. We're going to ruins that have something. I don't even remember why something is going there. It's related to the Book of Night and a ritual to summon the shadow. Caldenas haven't found that on herself again, like Claude and Orion Kazan have been manipulating her. As well as the still nameless head of the Moonlight Order, Moon something. I think I don't have anybody with evasive maneuvers anymore. Is that the case? We removed evasive maneuvers, but on Timonos, but maybe someone else has it. Anyway. In this case, you get to a maze like where you just like something like the Lost Wood in Ocarina of Time. You sort of cycle back if you don't take the right path. There's no right path. You just have to come back to town and get a guide that will help you through. But you can also get it immediately, or him. And he's a beastling. He's one of these demi-humans. Most of the demi-humans are aggressive, but the beastlings, the Kates and the Octopaths, are actually like neutral or friendly to humans. So we go, that's the guide here. He's not marked as a story, but we just know it. Yeah, well, this will skip this trial bit. And we're running after Caldena that's trying to do this ritual. But the ritual that she was given was actually faulty, so it's not going to work and she's going to have issues. And that will give time to Ori, we won't see it, to steal the Book of Night while everybody's not looking. Ali, chapter 5 for Hikari is much of the same. So what Kazan wanted was the sword that transformed Mugen into the Shrouded King. And so he needed Hikari to beat Mugen so that everybody's attention would be somewhere else and get the sword. So all his conniving, all his master planning for probably decades have been, in part, like everything he's done in coup, and both coups were organized so that he could get Hikari to beat Mugen and the sword to be available to him for a ritual that was supposed to end the word. And I need to find the right path. I forgot. It's interesting that here there's no difference between the EXP time 10 and EXP time 100 route. Here we go. Over here. Yeah. So yeah, Caldena is going to get transformed by her ritual, like possessed by the shadow. That is the story here. We still don't know, and we wonder for a while who the leader of the Moon Thingy Order is. She's also manipulating Caldena, obviously. Am I supposed to have someone with... I just didn't remember it being that hard. Let's have a quick look on our equips and learn. Is it night? No, it's not. Okay. Inside it's not always easy to do indoors. I think maybe Agnea is supposed to have it. Nobody has it. That was a long time ago. Or was it? We did that before we... Cassie's supposed to have evasive maneuver, but we don't have her. Agnea is not supposed to. I think she should have. Right, I think it's a mistake. Is she supposed to... Oh no, I'm wrong. She was supposed to have it. Okay. So... in slot 4. But whatever. Okay, that's going to make our life a bit easier. That wasn't pleasant. I think I misread the menu. So we're going to find all the guards here, because there was a friend of Crick here and sort of figured out what happened. So he said, "Okay, Caldena, what's going on, right? Because I like Crick. He was a friend of mine, and I'm pretty sure you killed him or got him killed. So, you know, what the hell?" And she's like, "Well, you know what? You're dead. You're dead. You're dead." Well, she didn't really kill anybody, but she now is on her own over here doing her ritual. Actually, we're not going to see her second face when she gets transformed, but... Oh yeah. That's how she wants to get vengeance. She wants to kill everybody. Everybody wants to kill everybody. That's just... Whew. I mean, it's definitely a solution. There's no war if there's no body. But... Actually, I remember, like, in prep school, we had Kant's Perpetual Peace book as one of the things we had to study, and part of the start of the book says, like, there's one way to get peace, is to kill everybody, but it's not interesting, so we're not going to speak about it anymore. That's what 18th century philosophy sounds like. See, he speaks about truth all the time. Told you he's definitely Detective Conan. It's just so similar. Also, he's plenty sarcastic. Just fits so well. Oh yeah, so we discovered at some point that the Guardians of Flames, or Protectors of the Flames, they're the Cal people, and she's called Caldena. I think it's just her actual birth name is just Dina, and she puts the two together or something. That's a pretty big hint that I completely missed until that particular text box, where it's kind of obvious because of the symmetry. All criticals.
行きますか。
Temenos has always latent power because of full power. So he's going to do 5 hits. A baiting orb to avoid the second phase from happening. Spear 3. I think defending would have been faster, but whatever. The menu here is down then right. It is not obvious. But a weird thing about this game is when you have more than one screen to in a menu, and only then you can press right and left to go down or up one entire screen. It doesn't work when there's less than one screen. So at this point we got enough skill so that there's one below the fold, and pressing right brings you to Abers. But before then you have to press up instead. I assume this is Crick's tomb, maybe the Pontiff's, but I assume Crick, especially since there's snow and there's no slow at Flame Church, so it's really that. Very touching moment. Temenos acts like a fairly old person, like he's drawn as a 20-year-old something as every manga. But he's supposed to be, I think, a bit older in experience, and he had like fairly fatherly behavior towards Crick, so yeah, that's pretty heartbreaking, honestly. A very strong story altogether, with the little material that you have. It's better when you summarize it, though. And his new skill can spend all of his SP to do a not very powerful magic attack. That's just terrible. So we have Oswald on Agnia, and Hikari becomes Particio. And we're going to finish Oswald's story by going to Gravel. I gravel at your feet. That's not funny. So Gravel is where Darkest's tomb is, and Harvey Harvey has a very, very strong complex. It's not really told within the story. You learn about it later, but we're getting there very soon. He's also manipulated by or good evil friends. And the plan was for Oswald to get killed, but Harvey arranged for Oswald to get imprisoned for life instead, because he kind of expecting of Oswald to actually break out, and so that he could show him the result of his whatever. He's heavily complex. He hates, like he has a love-hate relationship with Oswald, because, oh, we still have Alderon, that's true, with Oswald, because Oswald's just smarter than he is. But he also, like, he is the only person in the world that is at his level of intelligence or something that he met. But he wants someone that is just below him, not just above him. And that makes him mad, and he just wants to gloat at this point. So he told Harvey where he was going to Darkest thing to make the other tome. The plan of the 3 people, 4 actually, but we haven't met the 4th one yet, is for... I think Zan actually anticipated all that, at least, so that he thought the plan would happen that way, and the plan is, of course, for the fight between the 2 to happen, and this tome that is made out of Darkest's blood to be stolen during the fight. Which, again, we don't see at all, it just happens. We have some menuing to do. We need a hunter, oops, and that will be Particio. And he will learn a baiting orb. I think the hardest part of this is to just root when oh yeah, we'll have a lot of so we've made Oswald specifically the merchant, because he's going to do a lot of mugging here, and mugging is like a challenge, so He's going to be alone in fights. 5 fights, actually. We're going to spend a lot of money. Oh, also. What happened is that there's some sort of dark crystals that Harvey gave these people and that makes them evil. I don't really know the point. Black crystals, yeah. But I don't know what I said. And we're going to steal them from them. With violence. It's much less it's time 4. I need to defend. It's beastlings. These are beastlings, by the way. You can see them. They have ears and they have like fox tails or something. Edos track. Oh yeah, so one of the difficult thing here is routing who has what jobs when, because well, at some point, there's some points where you need to have all jobs to be prepared, and you want to limit the amount. No, still defend the amount of back and forth menuing you have to do. Then you have to prepare for the team you will have at the very end of the game for the final boss. Now that doesn't look obvious to me. Actually, contrary to the first game here, we can have more characters on a job. That does require buying the Divine for that job and paying 100k for a second character. I don't know how much for the third because I never did that. In 100k is a lot of money, so I guess it's just too much for this route. It's not worth it, so we'll still stay on 1 character per job, so we won't have 2 merchants or whatever. This older lady is weaker, so we can we can beat her with guards only, and guards time 3. After Assassin's Guard are faster when you do down inputs instead of up inputs, but I never remember that. And the final one, we'll use veterans for this guy. The thing is kind of spreading, so I guess this guy has more than one, and they give each other crystals, but only times 3 for some reason. In the first game, veterans only do sword attacks. In that case, each veteran is picked at random among the 6 weapons. And they have different stats, hence the very different damage. I also ran out of tea, so let me make a little more. My bottle over there. Okay, so we're going to Harvey. So he's doing a ritual that might not kill Elena, but again doesn't remember about Harvey at all. So she thinks she's helping her father. Ooh, I forgot to do a thing. Oops. We're going to walk that again. I need some soul stones. I don't know why, but I do, apparently. Maybe for the final fight. Oh, I just realized. So because I'm on the EXP times 100 route, I have more money, and there was a slightly faster series of mugs that I could have done. So this is a mole. So I didn't point that out at all. This is a mole king. They're also dummy humans like the beastlings. By the way, because our hunter is a beastling, everyone is disguised as a beastling when they're a hunter. You can see Partitios with a wolf-like attire. So these are mole kings. They're new to this game, I believe. I don't think they were in the previous one. Just like the ape kings, we already had the rat people though, and maybe something else. And the Kates, of course. The Octopaths are new to this game, and they're adorable. Like, so cute. We're going to fight Harvey at night. And there's a bit of a small fight before Harvey. In the other route, this item is good for something. I don't remember what it is. It's very close to the way, so it's nice to be able to pick it up. Asoko means over there, and I'm not sure why Throne says that. Does she mean like there are some people attacking us from over there? That sort of, or maybe it also means something else, and I oh, wrong path. And I just don't understand it. My Japanese is that bad. It's even worse than that, actually. I don't speak Japanese. Oh, we're going to use elemental barrage. That's fine. Is it barrage or barrage? I don't actually know. That's too early. It's way too early. That's ages too early. We're not even there. It's still night. Although it's changed back. Okay, whatever. Now we're close. Well, Harvey is there, he's doing the ritual, he's making the... We're just late enough so that we don't prevent the blood tomb from being made. I think these bad guys are really, really lucky, because some things could have gone really awry had they just, you know, if the timing had been slightly different. I didn't finish my sentence earlier. So you use the inventor skills for free, but then you need to spend some turns to make them available again. I think you burn one turn and then you wait to cool down. So I don't really remember what happens in this scene, but okay. But the funny thing is, you know how Harvey is like, oh yeah, the one true magic is actually shadow. Well, turns out it might be, but that was the 7th source of magic. There's also an 8th source of magic, which apparently is the power of Nikitsu. Or maybe love, unclear. But anyway, Harvey wants to protect his daughter, and he's surrounded by his friends, and he has this warm feeling inside, and he can use the one true magic, which is actually a skill that I find very useful. It costs a ton of SP, like 75, but it breaks through everything, and it was pretty powerful in my magic-based build during the game, because I didn't realize that I should have not done that when I played casually. It's not going to be useful in the run. Those values is low level, and we have a much better way to break things. Also, the one true magic is probably the 8th color too, so it's Octarine. I think it works fine. You know, like Oswald's archetype character is that he is this sort of he's sort of the wise hermit. Like, he knows a lot of things as a mathematician, playing a bit with the trope that smart people are not neurotypical, which I don't really like, but sort of works here, especially because of the prison thing. So he's pretty traumatized, and he was it was very atypical before the traumatism as well. The prison thought that he had lost his wife and daughter, which obviously would break any man. He found them back. Well, he found his daughter back. The wife had since died. And he learns the power of Niketsu, which is an interesting role reversal, I think. So I wanted to point that out. So we're going to use aggressive slash, fully boosted with latent. I don't think it worked fine, did it? I think it's... fine. I think it's gonna work. Thrown defense. Elemental barrage 3. That's a scholar thing. This would not work. So that's going to do 5 to 7 times. So that's perfect. And abating orb. Okay. So now, with the Octarian power Niketsu, we have the other one, True Magic, killed Harvey, saved Elena. She needs to be nursed back to health, which our research assistant Clarissa will do while we're still on the road, trying to solve the final mysteries of this, and also trying to not overwhelm Helena. As a side point, I want to point out an inconsistency. It is night right now, despite the fact that we don't see it. It's actually not night in the game. We can't change night today, but it is obviously night in the story because of how Elena has been called to bed. But it's not night because I can scrutinize, which is the day power for Oswald. Just pointing it out. It's absolutely not important, but just the game pulling one over you. So you actually haven't spent a lot of time with Elena because you want her to be nursed back to health. While this is happening, she's in the background here with Clarissa. And she's very studious. She wants to be a scholar like her dad. She wanted that even before the events. I would point out that in this picture, Oswald is very dapper, but in the story, it's quite clear that he has his prisoner's overalls under his clothes, and he just doesn't care about appearance, usually. He's, again, he's sometimes a bit the cliche, slightly autistic. Mugging your daughter is not appropriate? Why do you say this sort of things? Anyway, this is weird. I mean, I like Oswald like this. He looks great, but this is a very different character than the one that has been presented throughout the story. I don't really know why they did that. I would have made Oswald a bit less naturally neurotypical, because that's a trope that I hate. I just can't anymore. Smart equals autistic. It's just so annoying. There's actually completely side story, but I don't know if you know the series Bones with I forget every names all the time. But anyway, I watched the series because the male lead, which is the guy who plays Angel on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, is a very fun actor, and he doesn't disappoint in that series. He's very fun and entertaining. But I couldn't watch much of the series. There's plenty of problems. The thing I hated so much is how much they leaned onto smart people are autistic, and I and it was like very, very insulting for for researchers in a way. So it didn't mean to be, but it was. Anyway, let's go. We go back here. Where we were, we actually teleported after the chapter. After final chapters, we tend to teleport to the location of the first chapter, like in the first game. And we can now finish Temenos and Throne's story. Again, a free teleport, always good. Like kind of, because we still have to walk inside, which is almost as slow as teleporting, which is avoid the story on the map. So there's nothing that is so important here. So to do, I mean, we're just following the story. So we have caught up with Alpates, who's here in this house. She's been murdered. She's been murdered by our friends, the bad guys. But they didn't find what they wanted, which is a piece of mirror, I think. We found a folded. We found a map on her person. We'll go back to that in a sec. First, we have Montwise to do. It's on the other continent. To finish the story of the telescope person. So he's over there. We discover that in order to finance his research, he has gotten some money from a Molinander, and that's dried him up completely. We'll discover in a second that he actually has paid his debt in full. He has not eaten in days again. Again, he will tell you to the minute how long he hasn't eaten. Hey, Thug with a hat. I believe he was in Agni's chapter, the final chapter as well, but we couldn't see it because I skipped the cutscene. This sprite is everywhere. Oh, I'm supposed to fight at night. Oops. Well, it's fine. I'm just going to do it catapult times 3 and times 4 rather. It should kill. Yeah. So it turns out that they're just lying to him and telling him, oh, you still have to pay us that much, and he already has. So this is all lies. So we have a few we have to beat up a few thugs. And then we're going to mug with Oswald's power. We're going to mug the guy and get his oh yeah, Thug with a hat again. That was another one. He's everywhere. I don't know what's wrong with this sprite. We're gonna get the telescope back because he got that as collateral, and was going to sell it. So here we got the telescope back, and we can watch the stars, and Ali, there's a bit of story here. There's like it's very, again, like physics doesn't work that way, but we'll see something in the sky that we shouldn't see, like a constellation that is not supposed to be visible at night in this period of the year. And this is when Oswald is making the observation that it seems that night is getting longer, has been getting longer over the past few years. So there's less day and more night, which is, connected to the night shall fall catchphrase that is in Temenos' story, that is related to the shadow. We know it at this point. And if only because the Book of Night, in which this phrase is written, is what led Caldena to her ritual thing. I lost track of where I was going with this. Yeah, okay, so that's a bit of story. Of course, I mean, if Constellation is not visible in the sky, it's not a few minutes of difference that will change that. And if it was more than a few minutes, I think people would have noticed before. But this is related to the prophecy, and actually it's kind of related to what's happening here in because we're finally going to Ochete, which is my favorite character in the game. So Ochete is Son Goku. That's probably why it's my favorite character in the game. Son Goku from Dragon Ball, I mean. She is naive to the point of not understanding evil. She's just extremely nice to everybody because she doesn't know anything else. She also has a tail because she's a beastling, as I was mentioning earlier, just like Son Goku. And she is not particularly polite, just like Son Goku. And she is to be, yeah, that's true. She's to be the defender of the island. Guess it's a bit like Son Goku. I mean, he's strong and he defends the earth, I guess. She loves food, just like Son Goku. It's a big part of her story, just like Son Goku. I'm overdoing it, but honestly, she's very, very similar to Son Goku. With a major difference. She plays Pokemon. And if you think I'm joking, let's go slowly through these text boxes because I'm going to point it out. No. Okay. So we have first to like, people have joked about how the hunter mechanics for Hanit in the first game was a bit like Pokemon. You can capture animals and use them to fight for you. In this game, you get to choose a starter. If you play the chapter 1, they're lined up, and you can talk to both of them and choose the one you are. So that you do that through dialogues in game, just like in Pokemon. There's Mahina and Akala, and I'm going to pick Mahina, despite the fact that Akala is supposed to be a bit faster, because Mahina looks much better in my opinion. Also, just like Pokemon, the one you don't pick is your final boss. And I think Akala is a much better looking boss for some reason, so I really prefer that one. The difference in time is less than 1 second, so who cares? You spare one input there from Mahina, and you save another from Akala later. Although you save 2, but you lose 1. And they might not be completely identical, and we call them twice in a fight. And Akala's animation is slightly faster. So overall, Akala is supposed to be slightly faster, but doesn't make a difference. Also, if you think that the Pokemon analogy is not strong enough, Ochete's quest is to go capture the 3 legendaries. Well, there's 3 legendary beasts, and we are going to capture them in game, but mostly we're going to get them to follow us and help us, because there's a prophecy that's going on about the Scarlet Knight, I believe. And when the Scarlet Knight come, the 3 legendary beasts are supposed to defend Totohaha with you. And the Scarlet Knight happens to be about the coming of Shadow, which apparently happens every 400 years. And there's we are actually the beastling in Totohaha actually protect this portal to the world of Shadow that we were hinting at before. Where apparently probably most of the monsters come from. And at the very least, the beastlings are humans that got, like the beastlings and the semi-humans in general are humans that were transformed, I think, by the portal, the power of the portal. There was a war over it, and some people just got greedy, used the power, became these demi-humans. Some of them became just pure evil, apparently, and others not. So there's a bit of territory dispute on Dotohaha because humans started settling and they want more territory because apparently humans pollute, whereas the beastlings, they hunt, but you know, they're in harmony with nature, so it's different. I think there's a good joke in French about y a des bons chasseurs et des mauvais chasseurs, but that's not going to be understood by most people, so whatever. So that's the story of Achedi at this point, and portents of the Scarlet Knight are around. So as the apprentice of the island's protector, who is some kind of statue-looking lion, she is going to find these three beasts. What do we do? Yes, we change the party order. Casti goes over Particio, and Oswald out for Occhetti. We have a very weak Occhetti at this point. We haven't seen of her yet. She's all about food, so when she captures an animal, not only can she use it for summons, but she can also transform them into food. Mostly jerky. There's something about jerky. Like, I remember there's like in Final Fantasy VI, the way you befriend Gao is by giving him jerky. And here the same. She can cook people's. She can cook things for people, and they become summonable, I guess. I don't really know how it works. I don't know what it does, but you can give food to people and they follow you. I've only ever used it within the story. A food that you cook by capturing animals. So I forgot the word they use in Japanese for jerky, but I went and checked, and it's really the same thing. So, I mean, it might be it's a variant of the same thing. So we're going to Crackridge, and we're going to do the Terra chapter, or as she called Terra-kun. We should listen to that actually. Also, the voice actor for Tere, I mean, she's just fantastic. Just all. Oh, we should just go out immediately. I think at this point we have nobody with evasive maneuver on us, and it's on purpose. So we're looking for buttermeat, which we didn't find. In Zero Leads route at this point, you would farm a little to get a Chidi to have a few extra levels. But here we don't care, so whenever we don't find a buttermeat, we just flee. Well, it just doesn't want to come. we're going to capture the button meat to make food, which is which will advance the story. We'll discover that Terra is somewhere underground there and is somewhat like sleeping, and when it snores, it shakes the ground, which is kind of funny. Or when it moves during, it's sleeping, and because it has a fight with somebody called the Dark Hunter. We actually eventually learned the name of the Dark Hunter. She's a lady, and she's working with it. Here's the buttermeat. Okay. So we're going to use a soul cell M. That one. We need to weaken the meeps because we can't capture them right now. Oh yeah, that's just like in Pokemon, which is one of the reasons why it's the analogy has been made to begin with. You weaken the enemies to be able to capture them. Now we want Ochedi to place first because we don't want her to get hurt. So we're going to use Inventor, Spring Boots that move anybody to first for 5 turns, I think. Also, and she can do capture on any bird and meat. When she captures, she speaks about food, right? But she can also send the enemies to fight for her. We're going back to Crag Ridge. Now we have what we want. We're going to use the night power to befriend someone that will lead us to Terracoon. Right now, the way to Terra is blocked by just random stuff. But after we, I went too far. After we speak with this person and befriend him, the path is cleared. Oh, I forgot to cook the jerky. Okay. So on these notes, we're going to Terra. I think so. There are 3 chapter 2s here. There's Terra, Caractera, or Cataracta, maybe. I think it's Cataracta, and Glacis, and we do them in this order. Oh yeah, we don't have anybody with evasive maneuvers because I forgot to do the menu. Casti becomes a hunter here. And she equips evasive maneuvers. That was the point. What was I? Yeah, we do Terra. We do Terra first because Terra is a powerful provoke. Well, yeah, it's a powerful provoke, and as such, when Ochedi will be on her own, she will always have Terra as a way to do damage. Quite useful. You can still use soul stones and provokes, but you can't use veterans. So. Also, the boy that came along with us, like, oh, I want to be a hunter too, no, because you're so nice. And then he sees Sarah, gets scared, and says, nah, I can't really be a hunter. I'll be a chef instead. This has no place in the story. It's just fun. You can't kill him, so we just abers violently. Now he's 1 HP. We just wait for Ochedi's turn. And so yeah, you wake up Terra, and they get angry at you, and they get angry at you and attack, and later they're like, yeah, I shouldn't have attacked you, but I was, I was grumpy because you woke me up. I had a long, 100-year sleep or something like that. So who wouldn't be grumpy, right? It's kind of funny. We're going to finish Timinos and Throne. Where is it? That's Cunning Creek, right? It's over here. Yeah, we haven't finished, so we have to we go out. So we have to it took me 15 minutes, I think, finding the route there in my casual playthrough. It's just so annoying. So we're going to a cave that is marked on the that's not the right place again. on the map. So what we found on Alpatez, she had the map within her clothing, so it was sewed in. So we opened the clothing, found the map, and there's a map to this cave called the Map of Moon and Sun or something like that. The Cavern of Moon and Sun. It's written in the notes. Of the Moon and Sun. So there's a note about something where the sun and moon meet. So the gimmick of this is when you switch from night to day or day to night, the parts that are easily visible change. I don't think you can actually make a place like that the moon and the sun illuminates in different places. I don't think that would work. I think there's a few problems like physics. But anyway, that's how it works, and you just have to find this one place at the end where the sun and moon here. So I think so you need to trigger this, and then you switch to night, and then day, and then night again. You see there's a place that is illuminated in both cases. Ah! And this is where we find the thing, and this is another piece of the mirror we used to have. So now we have the two pieces of the mirror. They will be important in the post-game, but that's sort of when the story ends. It's a cloudy mirror, though. We're going to Cunning Creek again, which is right here, and we're going to the Cataractas route. So here we'll go find Cataracta. We'll discover. Well, there's a hunter that seems to be protecting Cataracta. We'll have to provoke. And we'll discover that Cataracta is actually dead. Which is a problem because we need the 3 beasts, the 3 legendaries for all prophecy, so it's a bit of a bummer. But the hunter will go, oh, but let me show you something. And we'll get there in a second. But here I can use a soul stone. I think I'm still level 1 or something. No, not level 1, because Soulstone M. Because we already beat a boss, but still very low level. Oh, level 8, well, that level 9. Not a lot of drop points. So, okay, she was not a lot of resistance. We go to the island here. I don't know how much we're going to see that, but there's a Cataracta's bones are here. But the Dark Hunter, again, so we just saw the bones here. Here we go. Got to her and killed her, and then she was like the body was just ripped apart by the locals because they wanted to sell the scales or whatever. But we go in the cave, and we can see in the distance there's an egg. This is Cataracta's egg. It's been here, and the hunter has been protecting it for a long time. She managed, because she sort of saw her death coming, or their death. Just Cataracta saw their deaths coming, and sort of laid an egg in the meantime. And so the egg is going to react to Uchire's present, and what's the word? Anyway, a baby Cataracta will be born. She's called Acta, I think. You can see her here, yeah. She's not a powerful summon, but in the final chapter, she will have an awakened form. Oh, the legendaries can only, they're like divine skills. You can only use them at max boost. Acta, you don't have that. You don't have this. Oh, I don't need to walk. I don't know why I'm walking. In Acta can be summoned at any boost level, but after in the last chapter and further, she will gain the ability to have her awakened formed, called at max boost. So pure bonus. So this is we're back to Cassie's chapter 2, the second route, another place that she's visited before. She goes to the infirmary. There's a lot of people hurt because there's a war being fought. Not the one with Screw this time, another one. And so we just help them. I think we just need to speak, right? Oh, we need to investigate, okay. And then we discover that after helping the lady, we had already met her. That's what's written. She's apparently called Mao, so she'll learn a few things. We also met this very gung-ho captain that's like, yeah, let's kill our enemies or whatever or something. So we go and see if the soldiers need more help, and we see they're having fun because the enemies have been attacked by a sandworm. So the story here, and Cassie goes like, well, I'm gonna help them, and the captain goes, no way, you're not gonna help them, and she goes like, yeah, stop me, and so she goes, and then he comes after her and says, actually, you inspired me, I'm gonna help too. So the story is that in that chapter, it doesn't really matter, but this town is populated by immigrants, and the locals just want to push them out, so they're fighting for their existence. The captain here actually comes from the local kingdom and has switched side, which is part of the reason why he's so enthusiastic about, converts are always the strongest proponent of your cause. But he sort of realized at some point, yeah, I've become my oppressor, right? And so he turns code and say, okay, let's actually help people instead. And so you go and save the locals. And then you become friend again, and that's going to be important. So we're saving, like, among the people that we're helping right here is a local kingdom's captain called Griff, I think. And he'll appear again. We're finally going to have a chapter in the abandoned village, which is virtually the first town we've visited. Well, it is the first time we've visited after leaving Turnus chapter 1. So that's Griff. So everybody's friend. I don't remember why we inquire him. Oh yeah, he talked about the purple rain. Yeah. So Ayers Apothecary, the group that Cassie was actually leading, we'll learn very soon. They were caught in a purple rain. Now, I think the sort of this purple rain just killed a lot of people in the village we're going to go to. And I think the sort of idea is that it brought them a very bad reputation because they were pretending to help people, but they eventually just killed everybody. I don't really know why that was blamed on them. Turns out it's one of their own, the Trousseau person we were talking earlier, that got corrupted by the shadow, become evil. He met Claude, and Claude apparently can be very persuasive, and sort of decided that the only way to help people out of their misery, like the only way to help people is to kill them all because there's no hope on Earth or something like that. So that's Malaya. She called us here to the abandoned village. We'll soon discover that she doesn't actually exist. She's dead. She's a figment of our imagination. None of the heirs apothecary besides Cassie who survived. So she's just Cassie's mind trying to escape, and her memory is trying to be whole. So they were a group of traveling apothecary, and they were helping people. extending a hand to everybody who needs or something like that. That's the no, we need to investigate here. Inquire, sorry. And one of them, there's a pair that is a couple, and Truso is one of them that we recruited in that other town. Because he was a beginner, he had to help the Rosa lady and just couldn't because he didn't know enough. That's Truso, by the way. The first scene he helped this young lady, I think, that's Sally, right? Right, she was very sick and he nursed her to health. Learning a lot from Cassie after that first encounter. Decided he would just join along, right? He's sort of the kindest of them all, they say. So one day they were all moving. Oh no, that's the scene where he helped Sally. Whatever. So one day they were all traveling except Truso that was back. For some reason he met Claude then, and he corrupted him, and so he taught him how to make this to make this smoke that extending a helping hand to all you need. And so the smoke contaminates the air, and especially the rain, and it's a powerful poison. So they're coming back, it's raining. He also kidnapped Sally, the little girl from earlier, and her brother, so that people would go out and look for them in the rain, so that they would be more exposed to poison. So everybody's died now, basically. And the air apothecary are all going to succumb. One of the ladies, the lady we talked to earlier, that is not with us, is currently protecting a horse from dying, and dying herself, but the horse will be used for escape. So Malaya will just carry Cassie to a boat and send her off. And now that Cassie remembers that, there's two things she needs to do. Find a cure or an antidote for the rain poison, and save the town of Timberlane, where we've been before. Because Truso is going to tell her, after he leaves there, well, there's this celebration in Timberlane, I'm going there. Like a wedding for some local noble. I'm going there because then I'm going to kill a ton of people and help them out of their misery. Also very, very nice sprite work on the plague mask. As far as I'm aware, plague masks were never a thing. So it's part of a, of a more recent representation of Renaissance doctors. So that's where we discovered that she died. Oh, by the way, I wanted to point something out. This is the troupe in Agnia's story. That's I don't know who it is. Giselle, yeah, that's the stage magician that had stage fright. And there's one person missing. That's Tanji. I think I said it last time, but Tanji is actually working for the bad guys right now. Not really voluntarily. She's been seduced. They will learn that her lover died, and she was all empty inside, and someone else that we haven't met yet sort of seduced her, and she's completely infatuated. I don't know why I came here. I didn't need to take the book. But she's missing at this point of the story because she's come back to Ali Flame Church, where she's from, to see that person. Anyway, we're going to Timberlane. So there's a bit of storytelling though that is subtle, that happens sometime in this game. So we're going to Timberlane and we want to save everybody. It's complicated. It's a big city and people are outside and there's going to be rain. You have to tell them, oh, please don't stay out. And nobody believes you. Because who would say, yeah, you can't go out, cancel the wedding or whatever. But you meet with the soldiers you've saved, in particular Griff, that goes okay, I know you're a serious person, I believe you, I'm gonna get everybody inside. They're obviously doing right now. Sarcasm, sorry. Also, you might notice that I really don't know why, but our characters don't use an umbrella. Cassie in particular is not using an umbrella. So she's going out in the rain to find Trousseau. She could have just used some protection, right? It would have been good sprites too. There's room for this. So it would have been fun to have the entire team hidden behind, besides, no, not besides, but under umbrellas. But I mean, a lot of fun. I think it's over here. We're going back to the roof of the castle, and we're going to beat Trousseau. Plain and simple. And then we're going to find the cure and end this story. That's the final chapter for Casti. Over here. Yes. We're really running out of chapters very, very soon. I'm guessing we'll be done in, you know, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour, something like that. We're not going. Yeah, we're going there. I think the dead soldiers are marking the path, so we have to kind of follow the dead soldiers. We're also fighting this at night. And this is a 3-turn fight. And there's the rain. The rain during the final fight causes a very weird effect where it reduces your max HP. So if you have a team that is you know, largely based on healing, etc., to hold the distance, this fight is a nightmare because little by little your ability to heal diminishes seriously. So you meet with Trousseau. He says, "Oh, you got everybody inside. Well done." But the smoke still works. Also nice bright, but you can't see his face. We won't see much. I hear the rain just, you know, we'll lose a little bit of hit points, of max hit points, but it's fine. Throwing the fans. Casti goes baiting orb. Ochide gives a pomem to Throne. And we kill. The second phase is particularly difficult. I think the rain hits faster and harder. So, oh yeah, we're gonna find the cure in a second. In sort of a fake fight. Okay, that's not very interesting. So we have to boost full and use all 5 ingredient ones. They have like very specific uses. Cure fatigue, reduces swelling, but purifies contamination caused by the rain. Yeah, so that works. She said, "Oh, I'm all good." And she's gonna have a dream where she's gonna heal Malaya, but she's already dead, so whatever. And she's going to distribute the medicine throughout town to combat the slower but still effective effect of the smoke and save everybody. Not in the other direction. She first helps everybody, then dreams about helping someone, which is probably a more efficient use of her time. Here we just do the soothe. Send everybody off. And she goes, "Yeah, I'm going to recreate the heir's apothecary eventually." I think she says that later, actually, in the post game. But oh, that's the captain we turned, and now have her surrounded by her dream friends. Malaya's the one with the ponytail. And I don't know what her skill does. I don't really care. Let's have a look. I don't think it's very good. Grant a random ally 3 positive status effects. Sure. We're going to Stormhail, where Glasses is. Glasses, of course, the ice legendary. I've seen someone call their Glasses split Articuno, which is quite understandable. There's not much going on here, so we'll learn a bit more about what was happening around the Dark Hunter. So we'll meet another hunter that comes here, and he came here prior. He came here prior to hunt like he was convinced by the Dark Hunter that go and hunt for Glasses, and they failed. They managed to kill Glasses's egg. Okay, let's do the actual menu. Glasses' egg. Which sort of, Glasses is a bit pissed. Like she's permanently pissed. That's why there's like permanent blizzard here. It's just Uchede's anger manifesting. Look at Mahina, by the way. Isn't she fantastic? Oh, and like, oh. Anyway, and so all but this hunter that we're going to meet are actually dead, and he comes back to try and find the bodies, and he kind of wants vengeance or something, or instead of dropping it, he wants to continue fighting for honor, something like that. This hurts, but we're fine. There's another reinforcing jam here, but I won't need it. Good job! I love this voice actor. Absolutely fantastic. This chest has a reinforcing jam, apparently. Good to know, just in case you don't have one. They restore light and power. That's the hunter. He's going to Glasses. He's going to get his ass handed to him. But we are going to try and soothe Glasses, who's just, again, perpetually mad right now. Because she lost her precious egg. And who wouldn't be? I don't actually know whether it needs to be night. It needs to be night, okay. Mastery. Now we have the free capture, same story. We still haven't seen the best line from Ochere, but it will come. I think. We could have there, actually. Forgot about it. Okay, so she has the 3 legendaries, so she comes back to Totohaha. And she will have the final chapter in her first chapter town. And she will, well, we just are going to stop the Scarlet Knight thing. By the way, she speaks perfectly fine, but most of the beastlings have trouble speaking, so they speak, you know, with simplistic sentences, sometimes not necessarily grammatically completely correct. But she speaks normally. She learned with that, the protector of the island there, Juva, who's, as I was saying, a statue-looking lion who speaks. We're going to wait for the shadow to come and stop it. And so, when you choose the starter, Mahina or Akala, the other one sort of seems to get possessed by the shadow and becomes angry and leaves. What happens then is it gets captured and tortured by the Dark Hunter. That turns it into a beast that is supposed to kill you or something, or unclear why she does that, but maybe it's explained. Anyway, the shadow is coming, so we have shadow beasts all over. We have 3 waves, we're done with the waves, and then it's going to be the boss. The boss is going to beat us first. It's going to push Ochere down a cliff. And she will be safe because the original flame will awaken in her. So she's a flame bearer, flame something. Oh yeah, we're a friend with the humans now. Well, they're a friend with the humans. We're going to get assists from here is going to be Terra. That's going to just kill the ground here. Just made a cool huge hole to give us some way. And then we have Glasses that will intervene and make a small shortcut. They're not very useful legendaries, I will tell you that. So you could go around there in the back, but she's going to make a bridge here. I'm pretty sure you can go around. Which is useful if you come back. So now we're going to... Oh yeah, no, I'm good. So... So the name of the boss is really inventive. If it's Mahina that is the boss, it's called Malamau, and here is and for us it's going to be Lajakal. That's Lajakal. So we fall in the water, saved by the flame. We come back up, and we fight for real. So that's the flame here. And so we are actually going to kill her. Oh yeah, we're going to kill the boss, despite the fact that we would really like not to, but... I mean, they suffered too much, and it's probably liberation for them, that's the reasoning. Acta is getting awakened. So I think it's... I don't know if it's the case, but she will act first, and I don't know if she doesn't have a step ahead, whether everybody loses a turn, I don't know. So we get to use Acta. or character when she's awakened. She looks different. I say she. I don't know why. I want them to be a she. But whatever. So, Timino's defense. Sword. Aggressive slash. I think that's one too many. No, it wasn't. Let's do. Ocheli has 4. Like, I know she doesn't have anything. Well, never mind. Fan is fine. Tornado's Aber. So right now, Lagical has 1 HP and can't die. So we need to do a baiting orb. And now we just I just mash attack and kill the last the dash HP. Gao! Best line in the game? I would argue that. I love the Gao. So we I think we hand him jerky. Again, friendship jerky. I think you make friendship jerky in the first chapter. Now your friend, and they're dead. There's just Ocheli and Casti's extra story, and we are done with the main part of the plot and move into the final chapter, the final section. Ain't she cute and all? Her special power calls several provokes. So you have 2 chapters to do. So we're going, that's in Agnia's hometown. Agnia's chapter 1, she had to kill a doer. These are like half elephant, half rhino kind of beasts. And one got a bit too close to the village and was hungry or something, so we had to kill it to avoid damage on the village. In this one, we're going to find a crazy one and soothe them, like cure them and help them. So the forest is unusually calm, and that's because the doer is a bit is mad with pain or something like that. That should kill. It doesn't. Fantastic. Even with HP 100. Okay. Good to know. And so yeah, you help the doer, you speak with them, learn something a bit ominous about how they got hurt. Yeah, because Ochidi can speak with animals, at least understand animals. Mahina speaks in, I imagine, Akala too. They have lines, but apparently they're not like actually speaking animals. They're just it's just Ochidi understand them. Okay, so we go back in town, and there's something even more ominous happening. So we go into the forest, and I'll at least shut up a little, because there will be the shadow theme. So again, there's a shadow coming. There's these shadow beasts here we're going to provoke. Oh yeah, I can still change night and day Not always when there's a shadow.
この魔物は何？どうしたら倒せるかしら、王主と。ママ、丸焼き、干し肉。無理だな。
I forgot to say something. So the final sentence, I think, final line in the Glacis chapter is like humans, like they fight for what? For honor? You can't even eat that, which might be one of the greatest line ever written. Anyway, so here is or we use Mahina or Akala, depending on one thing. They both hit a vulnerability. Akala hits physical vulnerabilities, and Mahina elemental vulnerabilities. We can call Glacis. And finish with a soul stone. Also pay great attention to the screen. Oh, I forgot to... I forgot again. We can get Uchedi to go Gao. Just by boosting her to 3 points. Oh, I skipped the cutscene. No, I can't watch it again. Well, it doesn't matter. We're stuck at night here. In the cutscene, we just see just the other characters disappearing. It's a good cutscene. I'll see if I can put it back. And now we have Shadow tempting Cassie. That sort of explains how it works by calling to your fears and to your to your anxieties, and of course Shady is immune because she doesn't have these sort of things, or not evil in her at all. You know, like Goku. I'm not kidding. The similarities are huge. I'm gonna do something. I love this so much. And this concludes the extra stories. The main stories are done, and we are going to beat the final boss really soon, but there's a bunch of bosses to beat on the way. A few places to be. So I don't really know what the conclusion is, but the shadow is gone, the forest can rebuild. We're all happy and all. And we're going to All Rush. Ooh. Ready. We're going to All Rush here. It's the closest place. And we're going to go to the, the last part, sort of the epilogue. The Journey for the Dawn. So all characters will go there, have a bit of a talk together, saying, well, we're done with our stuff. That's what we wanted to do, but it doesn't feel quite done. Something is off. And then night will fall. And we're going to be stuck in a permanent night of shadow. We're going to be attacked by shadow creatures. After a gathering. So yeah, what's happening in these cutscenes, all the flames that we've been interacting with, we've passed them, all the flames are being shut off, and something is happening, and V-Day seems to be reborn. Now we have the shadows theme a bit everywhere.
変形カタパルト。
So here it's kind of interesting. There's nothing on the map officially, so the game tells you, well, you have to find to look for clues. But if you look at travel banters, they tell you, well, go where shadow is, and you can see that there's a bit of shadow here, there's a bit of shadow here, here, and here, and all these 4 places you need to explore. Kind of figure out by yourself how to do to resolve the thing, but the game kind of gives you enough hints that in a few tries, it took me a little while to figure out, but not that much. And in one of the zones you find Ori's diary, so you learn about the entire backstory, what the manipulation has been. You learn about a lady called Arcanet. That's the 3rd person, or the 4th person in our story. The 4th bad guy. And you learn that Ori has really been taken in by Particio. And just learn enough to understand what you need to do. Also, near each of these flames, there's 2 statues of jobs of two of the gods. You need to have the corresponding characters in your party at this time to rekindle the flame. And you can shun it any time now. You don't need to go to the tavern. There's a fight here, so 2 of the places have boss fights, so we do one of them first. We do 2 of them first, actually. So here we go. And this monster has, if I remember correctly, 120. So he has more HP than any of the Chapter 4 bosses. Pretty aggressive. Temenos does his break fun thing. Cherry Botu. This doesn't kill, by the way. Because, yeah, he has more than 100k, sorry. So, we don't need her, but we need a merchant and help veterans. Yeah, that was just over 120k, so that works. Okay, so we go just a little bit closer. Now we can just, go in the inventory. Shiny mirror, that's the cloudy mirror from earlier that we got from Alpates. There's a bit of reminiscing where we learn some things. Here at the Dark Hunter, so we learned that every one of these guys, to shut down the flame, the ritual requires a sacrifice. So the Hunter sacrificed herself. I think she got eaten by Lagical or something as a way to rekindle this. That's Arcanet, by the way. So yeah, that's a lot of devotion. I don't really know what the Hunter motivation was. Arcanet is also the one that Tansy is infatuated with. And Arcanet was, we knew Arcanet from the beginning. She's Mint, which passed as a friend for Temenos. So she was very close, and she goes, well, I thought the Pontiff was the person to be careful of, but you were something. She also has eternal youth, apparently. Her exact relationship with Claude is not clear, but she is a descendant of Darkest as well. So how do we thingy it? But Sherida's axe. Temenos defense. Axe 2. Latent. See how the latent power is so useful when we the full power is comes in quite handy. We're good. Note as well that Throne is lacking. So we're going to do 2 Abers and we don't even have... Oh, we actually have enough points for that, but we not necessarily do. So anyway, we're going to use a Rev Jam. She has a law, like she might have 200 HP or maybe less. So anyway, that's the Rev Jam. They're here. So that's a full cure, and that also gives her BPs left back. In the other route, use the assassins to restore her SP at some point here. Probably against the grotesque monster. So you finish with the assassins and you're good. So we beat her. Something. That's in that scene there that we discover that she looks. So her sacrifice was Tanzi's. Tanzi's dead now. I can't change between night and day. It's perpetual night. It doesn't even have an icon. The thing in every beast, at least in the shadow in the place that are enshrouded in shadow, all the monsters are shadow beasts. Just a normal name of the creature. They work the same, but they have the name Shadow in front, and they're probably stronger. I don't actually know. So we're going to rekindle this one. Same story. I'll just point out. So here is Tanzi's journal. We don't need that, but it's here, and that tells us Tanzi's story and how she got infatuated. So that's Aber, Prince of Thieves. So we need Throne here. And that is, of course, Elfric the Flamebringer. So we need Temenos in the party. Don't need to be that close. Inventory, go here, click. And next, we're going to Ku. Which, of course, I mean, there's a lot of shadow stories in Ku. Here we go. Because it's the birth of the Ku clan. There's no shadow in this space, and there is no music, and that's kind of neat. Not even fight music, see? It is a bit eerie, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to get back to the shadow in a second. There we go. Finding the grotto here, the Tranquil Grotto, is actually difficult. That's the same place where we fought Yomi. It's actually difficult to find even in the day. I got lost several times there. But now it's even harder because of all the limited visibility due to the shadow shroud. We have the same encounter rate as at night. I got it wrong again. There's no more bosses until the final boss now. We are good. Cool. The final boss is rough. And the first phase is doable, especially since we're going to again. Where are we going? I'm lost. I don't know where I am. We're good. No, we're going back. No. This is the way. Okay. Yeah, so at some point, so the final boss is so you get there, you have your party fights, and midway through the fight, the second phase starts, and your party of 4 is replaced by the other 4 people, and then you have the final phase of the boss, which so Agnia over Ochete and Casti and carry. So that's the, you have the dancer here and the warrior here. Brand is the warrior. Otherwise, you just it just doesn't work, and it says the mirror doesn't work. And the final, the final is the final phase is fought with all. We're going to Crackridge with all 8 party members, and a bit of a weird thing where there's two sub parties and they share turn order. It's a bit weird. And in this phase, the amount of damage per action that Vide has is ridiculous. So we are doing all last flame. When all flames are rekindled, the location of the final boss will be revealed on the map, and we'll be able to go there. It's called Castle Vidania. Vidania is supposed to be the place. So I think the story there is that the gods have sort of exiled Vidania to the bottom of the sea, and so the ritual that Kazan and all did raise it up. So these pieces of things scattered in the ground, they're Ori's diary. That's where you learn most of the story. And so at this point, I said arguably Particho is the most important character in this story because Ori really likes Particho, and that, the fact that he, at some point he says, yeah, I'm going to give this team engine to the whole world. And he's like, yeah, he's all talk, but at the end of the day, he'll do that just to enrich himself. And then she said, well, no, that's not what he did. He actually made it available to everybody. And that gave her more faith in humanity. Where's the, where's the flame? Okay. Oh, the flame is somewhere. And cool. And so when she was supposed to be her own sacrifice, so she was committing suicide. And oh, here. Okay. But she actually didn't die. So my interpretation is that the whole thing didn't quite... Oh yeah, I need to change characters first. Particho over Agnia and Oswald over Hikari. The party order actually does matter, so we're going to double check it if I have a check later. I'm not sure. And so she survived, and I would assume that this has weakened the ritual and made the thing less effective, and probably allowed us... we're going to New Delta Arbor here. Probably helped us defeat the boss at the end, just because Patricio was such a nice guy and so charismatic. It's very important for an AB match XP, that's true. If you ever at some point lose HP on Throne A, you'll stop killing bosses. So we have our final menu to do upcoming, and then we beat the boss. This cutscene makes the something appear, I think. I don't know. I mean, we're not on land yet. We still have to disembark. So Castillon Particio. Oswald becomes a carry. Casti gets a step ahead. Rone becomes a Null Master. Probably for bonus damage. Oswald becomes a Dancer. And Agnea, Inventor. Yeah, this is going to be funny. I hope everything is the right order. Because at some point the turn order will be decided by the position. I'm going to save just in case something goes awry. So we have a save point very close. It's not going to be long, but it's a bit stressful. So here, Kazan jumps into the hole behind him, commits suicide. And that triggers Vide's rise. Okay. Oh yeah, we need to mash that. It's not very interesting, so we'll think to leave it. So I mean, there's some tempting happening, like in my side of the word, there's only shadow. It's soothing because there's only that. There's no other people or something like that. So not on the Ringling Tentacle, on V8, 1, 2, 3. So when you defend, the position of the cursor gets reset, so you have to be a bit careful about it. I'm leaving you to enjoy the music though. That's useful to skip the second phase. So normally after that, after half damage, Vide would like swallow all your party and the other party would come in, the other 4 people, but we're going to just skip this. And now we have the final phase, which is ridiculous and takes a few turns, but. And we're going to start with our secondary party. We have to actually the first turn anyway. And so, what we're going to do is going to use the latent power here. The latent power of Agnea makes single target things become whole party. In that case, it will target the 8 people. We're going to use the inventor skill, and we're going to use springy boots, which means that the entire party will play before V-Day every turn. For 5 turns, but that turns out to be the entirety of the fight. From then on, I think the turn order is fixed and depends on the order of people in your party, and that is why the order is very important, because we count on it. Because that's how springy boots work. If several characters are supposed to start first, the order is decided by the party order. I don't know if it's already. It might be in order from turn 3 on. So Ochiri's latent is like Hikari. That's just extra things. We've already used Patricio's latent, but it just gives him full BP. We're not going to use Beast Slings to break things. Right? Lion Dance on Throne. Evidently. So now we give damage, extra damage to Throne. Okay, and we heal a lot of people, but they were already full, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so we remove the ads, but V-Day is still very generous. Almost everybody's dead. Mostly those who don't have Angtoff. I have 3 actions this turn, yes. We got our latent power back because we took so much damage. So we need a reinforcing jam. on Throne, so she can do that again. Latent. I should kill, and we are done. We have finished the game. On the speedrun, time is on the screen getting black after the second cutscene. Oh no, not right now. We still have the epilogue to go to. I'm silly. So we're going back to the camp fire from earlier. Over here. And then there's 2 cutscenes, and so they also say goodbye to each other. We might meet again. It's very, very sad. Yada yada. I think it's anticlimactic, honestly. Darling. Yeah, we've traveled. Oops, it's over here. We have saved the word. Now, you know, let's go do whatever we do usually. Great. And that's the credits. There's a little boss scene credit, so we're going to play it after that. A few minutes. Yeah, they say goodbye. They leave one by one saying, you know, we might meet again. So the credits also have all the bosses, but in that version, of course, we are assured to have beaten all the bosses by the time we get there. Also, you might notice that whatever's on screen is not what happened. Well, we haven't beaten this boss because we haven't played Octopath Chapter 1, but the general point is we'll see all the bosses act, despite the fact that most of them didn't have a turn in this run. Well, these are the Chapter 1s. What's left to say while we're wrapping up? I mean, overall, I think the game is probably better than the first one. There's still a lot of missed opportunities of having, like, I don't know, you know, having some consequences for things. Like, you do partitions chapters, you sort of build up commerce. Maybe you get richer, you get some money over time or something like that. Hikari builds an army, maybe we can use that army for something. A bit like in Suikoden. I don't really know, like making things interact a little more, having more lore in the side quests, and the side quests be less obscure. Most of the side quests is just find this random thing by you know, stealing things from everybody. But there's someone you need to find, the person, you need to find a person to escort up to the quest point, and just that can be very, very difficult, I think, and some people will find that enjoyable, but I find that not very. I would really like it better if there was some way to deduce our way through side quests, and we would learn some lore about what's going on, because there's quite a bit of effort done in world building. It just doesn't really come together. The gameplay is just as good as in the first game. I think for the speedrun, the speedrun is much safer for now, at least the 80%. I haven't done shorter categories yet. And it's much safer, but it's also like it doesn't have as much variety that I could see of strategies. The Galdera speedrun in Octopath 1, sort of building up to beating the sorcerer. So once you had the sorcerer, it was a bit like this, like every fight was the same. almost. But building up to the super boss was really interesting. Here's Ori, by the way. But yeah, overall I think it's a better casual experience. So if you want to play either of these games, go for it. I would go for the second one first. They're not ordered, you can play them in either order. You will find the first one to be much more systematic in the way it presents itself. And this game is just pattern breaking the video game. It just presents you with what looks like a pattern, or maybe just takes the patterns from the first game and breaks them. Dulcinea. Puck is nice. We haven't had the opportunity to see her face before. Because Temenos' bonuses. Oh no, the debuffs he gives. One of them is blind, and it just puts this, cloud over people's face. And that's a bit sad. And the sprites are so good. Mod is kind of fun. But anyway, yeah. It's a fun video game. I wouldn't play it if what you're looking for is a good, compelling story. The story is decent, it's serviceable, but it's not great. On the other hand, playing with the possibilities of the gameplay, which I think is very unusual for a JRPG, that's really where the game shines. Because it's sort of the boost and break system gives the game so much predictability. And gives you a lot of strategic options. Yeah, that's Kubari. We didn't see her sprite very much either. So yeah, and both games are really good at this. Octopath 2 will give you a bit more variety in how it presents itself, and a slightly less distracting story. With, on the other hand, a lot of voice lines, which if you want to listen to them all, might take you quite a bit of time. So anyway, it's up to you. There's more sprite work in Octopath 2 too, and it's quite good. I do hope they don't make a 3. I think if they make a third game, they need to make it quite a bit different. And honestly, Final Fantasy VI had a lot of characters, but they didn't try to have 8 independent stories, or I don't know how many characters are there in Final Fantasy VI, like 12, I think, something like that. 14. I think there are 14, but 2 are bonus characters, or 3. 3 bonus characters, yes. Ish. Depending if you count the ninja Shadow as a bonus character or not. But they managed to tell a very compelling story for each character. First, you can't play it in the order you want. There is some ordering, but not full as that. But because the story is well intermingled, and it's efficient. And if they do a third Octopath game, I would hope they would channel a bit of the Final Fantasy VI energy. I would love a game that is as compelling a story as Final Fantasy VI, and as compelling a gameplay as the Octopath Traveler video games. Because Final Fantasy VI gameplay is not very good. As much as I love this game, at least the fight mechanics are... I played for the story. So I'd really like the best of both worlds. I think it's probably doable. There's no reason. We're closing in on the end of the story, I think. We're at chapter 3s, or the credits, I mean. we're getting there. We can play the final sequence. The final sequence is all about Agnia, because she didn't have any role in the story at all. She just happened to be there. Oh yeah, that was Truso's phase 2, but we didn't see that. So all the final chapter bosses have a phase 2 that has a different sprite, but maybe not always a different sprite. Usually a different sprite. And we didn't get to see any of them because we cancelled them with a baiting orb, which is unfortunate. So that's La Jackal's final phase. Harkonnen. Does Harkonnen has a... Yeah, it's a different sprite, isn't it? Well, I guess we're not playing that cutscene. That final scene. Well, okay, so I'll narrate the final scene because nothing happened. So you play as one of the characters, I don't know which, maybe the characters you started with. And you go around New Delsta, picking up the other characters of the story, the 7 others, except Agnia, that is replaced by her sister. And then you go see Agnia's concert. And that's the end. And on this very appropriate for the stream ending, I'm going to wish you an excellent rest of your day. I'll be back tonight, maybe. Yeah, probably I'm going to do some speedrun of this category tonight. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And until next time, don't forget to stay curious. Cheers.